Now, why haven't we really seen major unemployment? Well, when you strip out Alberta, unemployment is fairly bad in my opinion. We haven't seen a lot of job creation, and we all know, and if you don't, now you do, that the stats aren't incredibly accurate anyways. I mean, they don't really take into account underemployed, those who've stopped looking for work. So the numbers are not incredibly accurate.
Why'd you get a job at Burgerama?
I was valedictorian of my university.
Well, you don't have to put that down on your application.
Do you have any idea what it means to be a cashier at Wiener Schnitzel? There you go, sir. And have it too at Wiener.
But just look around and observe. I mean, the high-paying labor jobs are out west. The manufacturing jobs, look at Windsor, it's been gutted.
Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You're gonna be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river. Go ahead and slow it.
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hi, Gloria.
Something smells good. What's that?
Sliced tongue. I was gonna put it in Archie's lunchbox this morning, but he said he wouldn't eat nothing that come out of a cow's mouth.
What do you want instead?
Couple of hard-boiled eggs.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests.
1984 is a book written by George Orwell. I'm telling you, we got to stop before it's too late.
Here is your letter.
What?
From the Veterans Administration.
Give me the letter. Here it is. What are you talking about here? Let me see. Here, eat it. I can't read it. You ain't got my glasses here. Read it. All right, meathead. See what the computer turned up here, huh? You're not gonna compute it. Turn your ears this way. Listen. All right, Edith, read it from the top line.
Veterans Administration, Maine.
No,
They contradictory force. Unification of the laws is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Stop, it says, dear sir.
It don't say dear sir.
Well, whatever it says, dear.
Dear Alice Bunker.
At least you're not dead, Miss Bunker.
And I'll tell you that a lot of the economy has still been stimulated, but here is the part that is an issue. Most of the employment is linked to real estate, and this goes for out west as well, closer to BC, not the oil provinces, but construction, real estate, financial, insurance, etc., right? And those industries, to be sustainable, has to be driven by incomes that are diversified, where we're making something that we can export to the rest of the world that has value. So the critique from having a Dutch disease is if we deplete the resources Do we have a malinvestment?
Hey, hi, and welcome. I'm going to shoot out another video here. Sorry about the last video that I made on the Albert Pike thing there. I cut off, my battery died, so just, so other people won't know what's going on there, but unless you watch the video. I mean, it's not just like I'm making videos, just walking around the house in my long johns making videos. Okay, anyway, I'm going to show you something else just before we get going. You're going to like this. Deer roast. There was a young lad, one of very few people who actually got a deer this year in hunting season, and he didn't know how to skin the deer, and he got my dad went and showed him, and he gave my dad like a whole bunch of deer meat. It's like, oh, so good. So I'm going to cook that up tonight. Now, man, when things happen, they happen fast. I'm going to take a look at that Winter Wonderland out there. Alberta, back to Alberta. Okay, when I made my predictions in 2015, I got to go watch my video again just to see how much of it's come true so far. It's like we're not even half out of January. It's like I mean, I only made that video like less than 2 weeks ago. Oh my god. Hey, Goof. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't care whether you pay $200 million for your home or you pay $200,000 for it. This is going to be a crappy investment for the next 5 to 10 years. There'll be no capital appreciation on this asset. Rising rates are going to kill real estate. Rent. Do not buy any of this stuff.
Man, it's cold out, dude. Not as bad now. It's in the minus 15 or whatever. So 1,000 layoffs. There you go. That's starting. I mean, think about it this way. It goes from, Alberta is kind of the breadbasket, so to speak, or the economical driving force of Canada's economy, to, oh my God, they're going to have to put in a sales tax. We're starting to lay people off. The housing market's going to, drop. Stores are going to close. They'd have to lay off. And this is coming from the premier of Alberta saying, look, we'd have, even if we fired every single government employee, with the exception of the healthcare, no, he's not going to do it.
Property became Ireland's gold rush. As prices soared, the deals and the buildings became bigger and bigger. The sky was the limit for the banks doling out cash to developers. At the height of it all, deals involving tens of millions of euros were served up with coffee and croissants.
Elaine, dance.
It's more like a full-body dry heave. Set the music.
Did she do the little kicks and the thumbs?
What, you mean you know about this?
For some time. It was about 5 years ago. I never knew what to say to her about it. It was one of those problems I hope would just go away.
Well, sometimes you can't help these people till they hit rock bottom.
And by then, you've lost interest.
It's time for Let's Make a Deal, starring TV's big dealer, Monty Hall.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and welcome to Let's Make a Deal. This is the place where everybody makes some deal one way or another. Good things happen. Who knows where the zonks lie? But I'll tell you one thing, we're going to give you an opportunity to make your own decision right now. Yes, you. Mickey and Monty. Look at Mickey and Monty, my idols. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Hello, Mickey. Nice to have you as a fellow idol. I never considered myself. Look what she brought to trade.
Yeah, it's a good game.
She brought my game. It's a good game?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
I figured, well, when I heard her say game in 2 syllables, it's a good game. Well, then I knew we were from Louisiana. Here we are.
Today, that Ireland seems like another planet. Now, ghost estates like this symbolize the crash that came in 2008. There are more than 600 of them littered across the country. Thousands of homes left unfinished when developers
are going to start to look better. And so the sustainability of the housing market will be buttressed by that. So That's our main source of reassurance from this.
The income tax from the workers who built all these unnecessary houses.
But there are people who live in these places. Like teacher Anna Cahalan.
When I bought the house, I thought I was buying a house in a nice, well-finished, to a high standard, small housing estate in a town that had good prospects and close to a lot of other towns and a small commute from Dublin as well. Now when you drive into the housing estate and you see there's no street lights, there's no permanent road, it's actually a temporary surface that's down. The footpaths aren't finished. There's open foundations with pipes sticking up through them.
Her house is worth just over half what she paid for it, on an estate that's become an embarrassment.
You know, people drive up and down here on a Sunday. You watch cars come in. At the start, I thought it was to view houses with a chance of buying. Now I think it's just to come in and just see how truly awful estates have been left.
You're like animals in a zoo.
Really, yeah, we are.
What you need to, the only thing that motivates me is being able to actually change something.
Ahern apologised to the families of suicide victims, but the following year those words would come back to haunt him. An Irish economy already starting to decline was hit badly by the global economic crisis. Property prices everywhere began to fall. For Ireland, it spelt disaster.
Ireland blew it by ceasing to believe that you sustained prosperity by making things and selling them, and starting to believe that there was a new magic kind of prosperity, which was made out of basically selling bits of Ireland to each other.
Bubba's a bulldog, my uncle's bulldog, or well, my cousin's bulldog, being babysitted by my uncle, and she doesn't like him for whatever reason. No barking! She's still barking. She just like stands out there and barks at him. I don't know why. Like Bubba's a nice bulldog, bulldog type thing. Anyway, so 1,000 people laid off, and yeah. What'd you call it? Not only that, so see, she just stays there and barks at him. So she doesn't go near him or anything. So 1,000 people laid off already, and this is like day 2. You know, like day 2. Break and boom, yeah, we've had that. You know, Alberta's used to that kind of with the mining and all that, and like any sort of mining type of thing. People, you know, like they kind of forget that it's temporary. Yes, it's a break and boom cycle. It's temporary. Meaning, yes, there's a big demand right now, but there might not be a big demand in the future. Now, the thing is that this is what I was saying right away. Low gas prices, you know, take them in now because you're going to feel the pain for that later. It's going to be $18 a gallon in no time.
That's number one. Number two, home prices, which frankly collateralizes a lot of the debt, have also been rising quite substantially. Vancouver at this point is the second least affordable city in the world.
So why wasn't there this massive housing correction like we had in the U.S.?
Or whatever. They'll do that, you know. And now you've got about 1,000 people that are probably are going to be defaulting on loans and all kinds of stuff. Not all of them, we don't know. But there's probably going to be a good proportion that will. I mean, they're probably still paying for their houses, that type of thing. You know, break and bust, right? So you're going to have a lot of devastated people just losing their shirts off their back.